I love the background. I love the background.
Yeah, it was a good. It's just a picture of 1,000 words.
Yeah, and I can definitely say, watching that game, that was kind of how it felt. I mean, at first it was a back and forth, and then it
No, it
just
wasn't
seemed
nothing
like it
back and
kind of.
forth.
I mean, it was back and forth, and then it just seemed kind of out of hand.
First,
Like,
we was- Y'all were the bullies the whole time, and I don't like that shit. I don't like that
hey,
no one bit.
we got the first game we got smacked in the mouth.
I don't like
So
that one bit.
this time they had to come back and do it. I'm shocked that Mason Rudolph is the guy that got it done.
That's why I knew from the beginning the way the game was going out. It didn't matter who was playing quarterback. It's just y'all came with more physicality, more intent, and
Yes,
we was
sir.
the one coming off the bye. Ain't that about us?
I mean, hey, just because you fresh don't mean you feeling the best.
Supposed to mean you got more time to prepare. That's what it's supposed to mean. It didn't look like we took that time to prepare, but hey, it's all right. I'll continue to watch these games and be depressed by the time 4 o'clock on Sunday. That's part of
You
being
got.
a
I
fan.
mean, hey, but fantasy playoffs halfway locked up. So I mean, you got something else to look forward
Two
to.
spots locked down.
Yeah. Shout out Team Bowling Park and Team Solo Sixers. Wish I could be there.
I'll be clinching soon. I'll be clinching soon.
Hopefully, or falling out of favor. Who knows?
Ain't no hopefully. I'll be clinching soon.
Uh, but just to kind of segue away from the football talk, we did get a comment on one of
I'm talking
our
about
latest
the comments
shorts.
coming.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They got some. They want something from you. They want something from you. So they asking right now, what do you got Tyrese Maxey ranking up against Anthony Edwards and Cade Cunningham? They want to rank him one, two, and three.
Oh, that's off of what we talked about last time.
Yeah, with your was it the top five under 25?
hmm Well, Ant Edwards is still the supreme right now. So, well, outside of Wimby, that's a debate. Wimby and Ant, that's a debate. But I'm gonna put
Mm.
Ant still supreme right now, and I'll go Cade second and Tyrese third. And it's really Cade's size that gives me that advantage, or makes me give him the advantage.
Is it the defensive edge more than?
He's just bigger.
Mhm.
His bigger body, able to do more, a little more. And he's more like, see, Tyrese Maxey is like a scorer. Cade can really facilitate, get everybody involved. He can rebound, so he covers more bases. But it's like it's neck and neck. It ain't no big disparity. But the
Mm.
disparity between them and Ant Edwards, that's sizable.
I feel like that's more. Well, I don't know. I would say between Ant and them, it's a mentality thing. Like, I mean, of course, his game is its own, but his attitude to truly want to win, like being an elite competitor in games, is one of the things that kind of sets him above most of the people in within his age range.
I would not disagree. But
Mm.
Cade Cunningham could close that gap, man. He's really balling.
Yeah, Kate Cunningham is balling. Like we was giving him a shout out last game. I mean, last game, but last episode with his back to back 40-point nights. So I mean, hey, Kate can certainly close that gap. And this year, I mean, seems to be pretty good as far as the stepping stones towards that.
Welcome to Point Blank Period. Point Blank Period.
Point blank period.
Point blank period.
Point Blank Period. No pressure.
Can't have a baseball conversation without bringing up Otani.
He's a great pitcher and a power hitter. Yo, this man's top five.
I'm still taking today's NFL.
I'm going with the Niners.
None of them are better than Brady.
This is your argument.
No, what I'm saying is, who's MVP? Do they not matter no more?
Like, everything you said before that point is irrelevant.
Not how the NFL works, baby. We drafted your replacement already. So
Whoa. I don't gotta talk to no peon.
why not just come back and prove?
This time he's really going off. Fireworks.
Because we can't argue facts. What I told you when you got involved with this.
This is
Grown man
ridiculous.
business. Grown man business.
Welcome to Point Blank Period Podcast, the best sports podcast, Point Blank Period. This is episode 31, not Black Friday yet. So with that being said, I'm going to start with you, Mr. KD. Which player blacked out for our player of the week? Is on you, Mr. KD.
Well, we back to the quarterbacks, giving the quarterbacks love again this week, it looked like. Even though I'm going to put C-Mac out there first because I'm going to just get the running back out the way. C-Mac with 121 scrimmage yards, 3 touchdowns. He get a shout out for player of the week. Dak Prescott with a Monday night performance with 4 touchdowns. He get a player of the week shout out. But I think this one's going to be unanimous, just like Jonathan Taylor was previously. Josh Allen had a tremendous performance this week. We're not even going to bring up the turnovers. We're not gonna bring up the turnovers. You know what I mean? We're just gonna say he had 6 tutties. When you put 6 tutties up in one game, those Madden numbers. So hands down, Josh Allen with 317 yards passing, 3 rushing, 3 passing touchdowns. He gets that top seat for player of the week for me. Who I'm missing tomorrow, if I'm missing it.
Oh,
I know
I
somebody.
would say I'm gonna bring up 2. One, I'm gonna hit my position that don't really get talked about much, but Trey McBride, 10 catches, 115 yards and a touchdown. He had a pretty good game, which also helped Jacoby Brissett break the single game completions record.
And a loss,
Uh,
Mark.
doesn't matter, still a record. Doesn't matter. That still matters. We're gonna shed some light on that and give him his respect for what he did. But the guy that I do want to highlight, Bryce Young,
Yeah, that's what I forgot.
448 yards, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers. And repeatedly exiting the game and coming back in and just carving up. I don't know what he has against Atlanta, but he obviously does not like them. Now pushes his record to a 4-1 against Atlanta in his career now, and even just like he was at Bama, still beating Georgia. But yeah, that's all I got for play of the week.
Yep, we covered all. So you putting Bryce over Josh?
Oh no, Josh Allen's still number one. I mean, 6, like you said, 6 touchdowns. That's mad numbers. Like, you can't do that. But
2
I
interceptions.
I do got to give Bryce Young his credit. I mean, as most people last year around this time was saying Bryce Young was done. He was benched and everything. Now to having 448 yards and 3 touchdowns. I mean,
Let's round it up. Let's
yeah,
round it up. It sound
well, I
better.
mean,
Four fifty.
you could just give him the 450. I mean, I'm pretty sure he might have
450.
ran for 2 something, but 450 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's a game.
Mhm.
And now the Panthers are over 500, so
Wow.
they got a real sneaky chance at winning the South. Actually,
Hold on.
they got a real sneaky chance.
People
They
just go
still got
too far. They just
they
go too
still
far.
they still got to play the Saints.
They go too far.
They still got to play the Saints. They got a chance.
They got a chance. Yeah, I'm not going.
Yeah, like I said, they got a real
It's when you
sneaky
put that other
chance.
adjective up there, that's sneaky. When you say sneaky, that means you see the light at the end of the tunnel. I don't see no light at the end of the tunnel. I don't see it.
I don't know. I feel like if
Think they
Tampa
gonna choke?
slips if Tampa slips up in another game, and like I said,
They still
Carolina
got to play
still
Tampa again.
they got to play Tampa twice within their last 3 games, if I'm correct.
Oh, they haven't even played them yet.
They haven't played them yet at all.
Oh yeah, Tampa's in good hands. Don't worry about
Hey, you bound to either split or
it. No.
somebody gonna sweep. You think Tampa gonna sweep them?
Yeah.
So
I'm
you
gonna
hoping
blame.
for Tampa got to be healthy at
No, not to beat
this
Carolina.
point.
I'm not disrespecting Carolina because 6-5. Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna keep saying it, but I still would pick Tampa over
Mm.
a game
Rod
Carolina.
Wave put a bug in Bryce Young ear, and he been playing different.
Now Bryce Young, I'm like you stated, I'm
With the 4 week breakdown, black and yellow, black and yellow. I'm gonna start with you, Mr. Amari. It's on you.
Like me and Mr. KD stated earlier in our pre-meeting, we just kind of out physical them in this matchup. Although it did start out in a back and forth, um, I was not expecting for Aaron Rodgers to exit that game with the injury, or for Mason Rudolph to come in and continue to play well and secure the win. But I do want to give a shout out to the defense, although they did manage to truly bottle up that explosive offense. And James Pierre played a great game against the deep ball, mainly lined up against Jamar Chase, which honestly is even
Cut it
more
out. Cut it out, Amari.
shocking.
Cut it out.
Hey, yeah, I'm saying cut it out,
Y'all
cut the
was
film on.
y'all was boxing him in every play. Don't say it like he did his job. Y'all had
He
two
did his
over there
job.
every time, man.
Sounds like he did his job. You stayed with that man.
No, they did their job.
Don't matter.
Hey.
He did his job. You got to stay with him for step. Obviously, Jalen Ramsey
Oh, you
can't do
just
it.
got to stay under because we got somebody over.
Did that last game. Whole shots.
No, y'all was giving Jalen Ramsey his time.
Mm.
My fault for cutting you off. You're right. To the winner goes
No,
the
you.
spoil. My bad. You right.
I mean, no. I mean, no. You. I mean, you're right in some cases, but gave Jalen Ramsey his shot against one, and that didn't go so well. So now with Jalen Ramsey having no choice but to play up top, James Pierre gets the chance to line up against Jamar Chase, ultimately keeping up with him, but in a bracket coverage. So not necessarily one-on-one coverage, but the game plan is the game plan, and we shut them down.
Give some props to Terrell Austin. I ain't heard you do that all podcast season. Give some props to Terrell Austin for a good game plan.
I'll give some props to Terrell Austin for his good game plan against the Cincinnati Bengals this week. I do want to give a shout out to Kyle Duggar for
Hey,
pick six, and he's been playing very well,
he had a
and
great game.
he's had a great two actually since we acquired him. But let's say last game playing 97% of the snaps to this game. I mean, ultimately still playing 90% of the snaps and getting a pick six. So I do want to highlight those two performance, and like I said, Terrell Austin's performance and formulating the game plan for this defense into this game. Miss Katie, you want to give us any? You want to give us something?
No, you shouted out the name I was going to shout out. Kyle Duggar played a tremendous game. He was really the deciding factor. I know all the fluffs and stuff will make you think of Jalen Ramsey or uh, uh, maybe another, like you said, what's the name you just said? I lost
James
it there.
Pierre.
Pierre. James Pierre. Pierre, but really Kyle Duggar was the monumental piece as far as in the run game, making tackles, in the pass game, disguising and recovering. He was the biggest player that I walked away from saying that was the difference from last time, along with moving Jalen Ramsey to safety instead of playing man on man corner. But Kyle Duggar was a huge part of the game plan, and he was the problem really. He played the biggest factor. But I swear, when I look back at it, physicality was just the difference in that game. It was blatant too. So 9 times out of 10 in this division, when you're the less physical team, it ain't gonna work out for you.
Yes. And most times, like you said, from start to finish, you gonna tell from that opening snap.
Especially when it started, like the way it started was the typical, past decade AFC North games where it's the score nobody really separates, but you wait for that first turnover, and that first turnover is when usually the game opens up. So I was sitting watching the game like I've been here before through the first half where we was just still tight, but
Hmm.
I was waiting on that one turnover that was going to dictate and change the game. And but the physicality was too evident, man. Man, never mind. I said I'm not gonna go too far on this. I got so many dudes that play on defense that I'm ready to see take the jersey off. This is just crazy to me right now. Should I say his name? Yeah, I gotta say his name. Geno Stone. I'm done. I don't want to see Geno Stone play with Cincinnati no more. I'm done with it. I'm good if you just say I'm sitting out the rest of the season. I'll be fine with that. It's horrible, and he's AFC North bred, so I don't get why.
Baltimore.
Yeah, I don't get why. I don't know, man. But he's been playing horrid this season, and the missed tackles and Barrett Carter. We talked about that. I don't know if we was recording yet, but Barrett Carter has looked bad that game. I just don't think he's ready for this volume of responsibility as far as week in and week out being the head guy on the mic. And but when you trade Logan Wilson out to Dallas, you're invested in this young guy. So this is where you're at now. But man, him in the open field making tackles was horrible to watch Sunday. Shout out Darnell Washington. He looked like a top 3 tight end in the league last week. I
You
mean
gotta
last game.
love Mount Washington.
I wanted him coming out of Georgia. I wanted to draft him so
Nah,
bad.
I was glad. Honestly, it makes me so happy that we did get Kyle Duggar because I wanted Kyle Duggar when he was coming out. I said, granted, he was an older rookie. I could tell it was like that you stuck your path. Being a Division II athlete that does get drafted, I mean, just hearing your name in the higher end of the draft, it just shows that your dedication to what you've been doing. You were
Man,
highlighted and you were found.
I told you
So.
last week I wanted to
Mhm.
see Chuck Clark. I ain't want to see Kyle Duggar. Y'all should have played Chuck Clark. That's why I wanted to see a safety.
Nah, I don't. Chuck
So Austin
Chuck
might
was
watch.
going.
He might watch our podcast. I might be
Hey,
giving him a
Terrell
link.
Austin watch our podcast. I guess I need to bash him more if he gonna come up with better game plans like this.
No, you need to relax. You coming for that man job? He might come find you.
But,
But Steelers won. They number one in the division. Like I said, to the victor goes the spoils. We end up with the 1-1 for this season. I guess I could take that, but I don't know. This team is just tough to watch Weaver every week.
All right. To the next topic on the full week breakdown. The Bills best the Bucks. But I gotta ask you a question, Mr. Myron. How far do you think the Bills can go with this defense? It's on you, Mr. Amari.
divisional round of the playoffs. That's about it.
That's about it.
Because you can't get to an NFC championship, or not an NFC, but an AFC championship, and your defense is not willing to really give you a stop. You're just banking on the other team making mistakes and something goes bad. Because I mean, the amount of runs between the tackles that they were able to get with the D line that you do have, even spending a draft pick on a young talented defensive lineman and Deion Walker out of Kentucky, it still made no true effort. I mean, your best plays were shutting them down from on the goal line stand, in which they ultimately had to take three. But then, like early in the game, is Josh Allen giving the ball back. I mean, it if the MVP, the former MVP, continues to play how he does, I mean, he could keep you in a lot of games, but the defense is what's gonna ultimately aid you in winning that game even more. Complementary football wins games, and defense wins championships. So Kansas City isn't winning their Super Bowls just based off of what Patrick Mahomes does. Spagnolia's defense is locking those Super Bowls up. So you need your defense to back you up, regardless of who's under the helm. You need your defense to back you up. So
If you don't,
hmm,
if you have a subpar defense, you really can't have turnovers. And even not to tie back to our game, but that's what happened in our game. That's what opened the floodgates, and it tied into not this game with Buffalo, but Buffalo's season. Your defense is not good enough to survive offensive turnovers, short field situations, and quick turnaround situations. So that's what makes them a toss up as far as playoff success. But what you said divisional round. So you said they can make
yeah,
it out the wild card, but that next round they're getting put out.
yeah. Because 9 times out of 10 they're gonna have to play the Patriots again. I mean, unless you
I'm
find
glad you
them
said that. I'm glad you said that.
and
But
it's I feel like the fact that they've at that point they would have already seen you twice. I mean, given the fact that you will be seeing them a third time would give you even more of a chance to win. But if you still have not managed to figure them out defensively, it's never gonna change the fact that they can bottle you up because they know who you are. But I do remember a stat. I remember seeing a stat before the Bucks game. Josh Allen only had one turnover in their wins, but
Oh,
8 turnovers in their losses. So I mean, like you said, you can't with a
defense isn't good
subpar
enough.
defense, you can't turn the ball over. That's the
Right.
only way that you can. That's the only way you'll win.
Their defense is not good enough to overcome those turnovers. So he has to value the ball. And the thing is, to defend Josh Allen in this situation, he has to force the envelope because the talent on offense is not there. Like the running back will give
Hey,
James Cook who James Cook
and
is,
I'm glad
but
you brought that up.
his
Also,
weapons is not there. So he has to force the envelope, which puts him in compromised positions to turn the ball over. So
I'm just glad that you spoke on his weapons because going into this game, their number one receiver, or who was thought to be their number one receiver, Keon Coleman, was actually a healthy scratch. What do you think about that? Dancing on the sideline, showing up late to meetings. You think this is just an accountability thing, or is it is it truly a problem in Buffalo?
it's not a problem. You can't.
You just think it's a
Keon
young
Coleman
receiver
is a
being a
good.
young receiver?
Keon Coleman is a good character guy, and I say he's a good player too. But Keon Coleman is not a number one. Um, so when you get him and you're expecting him to be a number one, that's part of franchise malpractice because you're expecting too much of someone. And I'm not saying when you do your scouting process and everything, you can have a higher view of somebody, but Keon Coleman,
But
I put it this way to say it. Keon Coleman would look a lot better and more efficient and more productive if he had a one on the other side. That's right. That's what I'm trying to. If he has someone to take the main uh, focus of a defense, I think Keon Coleman would work out and look a lot better.
Mr. KD, I'm gonna ask you this question. I agree with you to a certain extent. I believe that he's a two, and I even argue with Mr. Amari that he maybe a elite three. So I agree with you there. But to Mr. Amari's point, and even to my point in particular, it's not just that he's not a one. We get that. Why are you dancing on the sideline when you? So, for instance, we're gonna talk about this team later on in the podcast with the Cowboys. They had two wide receivers that was healthy scratch. They wasn't dancing on the sideline, even though they still played. You're dancing on the sideline. Why? Are you Juju Smith-Schuster? Why are you dancing on the sideline like everything is
Why?
sunny?
Why
That's the
can't?
that's more of the
Why
question.
can't I dance?
You said what,
If you
sir?
look if you look at the clip, the teammates
Why
that are
can't you
dressed are
dance?
dancing with him.
Miss KD,
One
Miss
of them
KD.
is holding his jersey, egging him on. Why can't I dance? Like, so since I'm a healthy scratch, you want me to look miserable on the sideline?
Do you know
I
why
have
he
to
was
bring the morale down.
Mr. KD? Do you know why he was a healthy scratch?
Yeah, they say he was late to a meeting, correct?
No. He missed
He missed the meeting. My thing is
Friday.
this. My thing is this. When
Friday
I'm on
before
the
we take
sideline,
off. Friday before we take off.
so I put a question on. I flip it to you. So, what would have made you happy? I'm sitting on the bleacher or the bench, just sad and pouting. That would have made you feel better about him missing the meeting.
No. Him working on this craft. He out there still running routes, still doing
I'm
what he's
running
supposed
routes
to
on the
do.
sideline during the game.
No. This pregame, Mr. KD. This wasn't during the game. You
So you
talking
want me
about
to run routes in pregame when I'm not playing? That's what you want to see. I'm not dressed. I'm not in no uniform, cleats,
you
nothing.
asked me what would be better. What would be better was you out there running routes, catching passes and stuff.
Nobody does that. Nobody does that.
So
Once you're a scratch, you don't prepare. That's not what you do.
the point, Mr. KD. I'm saying what would be normal, or you just standing on the
That's not
sideline.
normal.
You said what?
No, but my thing is, if you look at the clip, he's still involved with the corps, the receiver corps that has to actually play. He's trying to keep their morale high. Keon Coleman, from what I see from the outside, I could be wrong, of course, because I'm not into that. But he is that energy guy. He brings the
No,
vibe
no,
for
no,
his people.
no. I agree with you there. I believe he's a lot of energy. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with the energy and all that. I really don't even have a problem with him dancing before games that he actually play in. But what it shows is a lack of concern or a lack of care.
No,
So I
I
was
don't agree.
suspended or I didn't play in this game. And I'm out here dancing like I don't have a care in the world. That's
I
the
agree.
problem.
Even if I won't dance, and they're not about to say, oh, "Okay, you're not dancing, so you can play now." It's
No, no, no,
done.
no.
It's
Still not.
nothing I can do to change that.
No, you got
So
children.
now,
You can't change that. You got
right.
children. The punishment is the punishment.
So right. So now, do I just let this drag and kill my energy, and then my energy passes on to my players that feed off my energy, or do I just go along with it? This has no dictation on how he's going to attack this week in practice. One little clip of him vibing in pregame. Pregame is built off energy. You have to pump guys up, get them ready. Like he might
I'm,
be that essential to that receiving core that they need. They need him to bring them up. They need his light reaction to whatever's going on to pump their energy and get them ready for the game. He might be that intricate to their pregame process. So that little clip or whatever, I'm not me personally, I'm not gonna overblow that. Is it a good look? I'll agree with you. Maybe it's not a good look, but it ain't that big of a deal. Real talk. It's not that to me. It's not that big of a deal.
so Mr. KD, I'm gonna go to Mr. Amari right now. So, in the words of the young kids, it's the octaves, the way it look. It's not necessarily like what you said. I might agree with you. Like in 1986, he might got away with it. With these cameras, based off what we're gonna talk about in the future, you already know you can't get away with anything. So I want to know what you got to say about this, Mr. Amari.
I mean, like Mr. KD said, it might not be a good look, but if he does give that wide receiver core this influx of youth, trying just keeping everybody fresh, keeping everybody's mental kind of up and morale up, it it's no negative drawbacks to that. It can only be good, especially like going into a game where I mean a lot of people kind of well, really counted everybody out. They counted the Buffalo out. So him being the guy to just kind of uplift everybody and keep spirits high is like there's something good for them. It shows that they can actually go into any game and there's somebody that always has a positive outlook for them regardless. No, he's the one person on the team that at any given moment is probably never going to give up just because he knows he can believe in the man that's under the helm.
And
So it's just
I
faith.
don't want to cut you off. Go ahead, finish.
Oh no, you good.
And his team didn't look bothered. That's the see. I look at the optics, like you say. I look at it from a full spectrum of it. If there was really a problem, any disconcern, I mean, any concern with the situation, it wouldn't be a teammate behind him pumping him up, holding his jersey, dancing with him, blah 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 blah. That's the stuff that I pay attention to. It didn't give off it's a problem. It gave off as it looks bad on camera because he's a healthy scratch. We came out of heard that he missed the practice. I mean the meeting. So now it looks bad optics wise. But when we get past the optics, because optics is only concerned in how many cameras we have available now. That's really where optics come from. It's just too many cameras. But if we get past how many cameras we have to make you accessible and really just focus on what happened, man, it's not that serious. It's not that. Now, if he get a healthy scratch again for missing the meeting
All
next
right.
week,
So, Mr.
then we can
KD,
talk.
let me ask you a question. We're gonna step off of the wide receiver in particular right now. With the Buffalo Bills, I'm just saying the back and forth with teams able to score on them the way they are scoring on them, with the fact that they've been through everything they've been through, and then it seemed like every week they saying Josh Allen, Peter K. Form, be Superman and do everything. He's outside of Cook. He have no sidekick. So they're asking this man to do everything. What do you think about that before we get to the next topic?
Well, I touched on it when I was rebuttaling off of what Amar said. The weapons on offense are not at his disposal. He doesn't have the weapons that most of these other elite quarterbacks have. And I'm not saying uh, Patrick Mahomes has a Travis Kelsey, Rasheed Rice, Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy to an extent. Lamar Jackson has a Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, Zay Flowers. Um, Joe Burrow has his weapons. You have to have at least one marquee guy to catch the passes. Josh Allen is not afforded that. So the fact that he's not afforded that luxury on offense and he's working with a subpar defense to be kind, it's too much weight on one person's shoulders in the game of football. And he's literally has a thin line. He cannot, like I said, he cannot turn the ball over. Like he's not afforded that. If he turns the ball over, he is it might mean like a step back for certain teams. It's like three steps back for him. So the roster construction is being blatantly displayed.
Yeah, I genuinely think like you said, it's too much stuff on him. I mean, of course, being without your I would call your main pass catcher at this point, with Keon Coleman being a healthy scratch and then Dalton Kincaid actually being out for the game.
Mark.
You're yeah.
Even with Keon Cole, never mind.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it is a lack of weapons because you're talking about your receiving core consists of Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir, Gabe Davis now, Miko Hardman Jr., and Shavers. So it's no star in that receiving room or any reliable pass catcher in that receiving room to actually give Josh the sense of security for a third down, or even just a secure hole shot in the defense.
Carolina claws past Atlanta to surpass over 500. I found out earlier this not their first time, but this their second time being over 500 in the season. Chicago barely got past Minnesota, and the Jazz shot the Chargers.
Well, as I touched on earlier with quick quick spill about Bryce Young, he does not like Atlanta. I don't think he likes the state of Georgia. I don't know what he has against the Falcons, but he turns into prime Tom Brady playing the Falcons. Uh, like I said, well, not 448, 450 passing yards and three
Round it up.
touchdowns.
Round it up.
450 passing yards, three touchdowns against Atlanta. And like I said, repeatedly exiting the game and coming back into the game, just being resilient, commanding his team back, just instilling them with faith that they can still come back and ultimately just beating the Falcons in overtime, 30-27. It was a great game. Defensively for Carolina, just showing that they do believe in their young edges. They see the growth that they're having so far this season, and that's exactly who they leaned on, especially into this game. Although the Falcons did suffer a major injury, which we'll touch on later, uh, they did get to see a little bit of what Kirk Cousins can do managing the command this Falcons offense, and even more so get some of their weapons involved. Although with the loss of Drake London, they weren't necessarily able to get the passing game as sparked up. Katie, what you got to say on that?
No, go ahead. We're gonna stay on this topic too long. Go ahead and touch on everything, and I'll just patch up after you.
The Jags shellacked the Chargers. I don't know. They don't had the Chargers number since the 22 wild card comeback. And I don't understand. I don't know I don't know what the Chargers or Justin Herbert just can't figure
Shout
it
out
out
Kirk
against
Cousins.
Jack, Jacksonville. Uh, I say, hey, you want to talk about Kirk Cousins? You can keep talking about Kirk
No,
Cousins.
I ain't got nothing to say. Shout out
Hey,
Kirk
I
Cousins.
I need Kirk Cousins' agent though, but
Boy, yeah, I ain't even gonna go there. That's a whole
the
other topic.
yeah, I need Kirk Cousins' agent. Chicago routed Minnesota. Truly, like I said, no, like I've been saying, just Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams truly figuring each other out and figuring out this offense and how they need to move. and especially being in the NFC North, playing defensive schemes such as Minnesota's, you having to play them twice, having to play Detroit with so much talent, and I mean, of course, their defensive scheme isn't something that's easily faltered. So having to deal with all of that, and as well as the Packers, you have to truly come with some firepower to play within that NFC North division. So that's majority. I believe that's what the second part of the breakdown for the most part. KD.
I'm right there with you. Just to hit on how well we still got more teams left on the breakdown. Um, yeah, Panthers ball out performance by Bryce. The Bears, they keep finding ways to win these games. And like you touched on, it's the Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams still figuring each other out. The Vikings helped them. You know, they had 3 turnovers. Bears only turned the ball over once, and that kind of played a big part into a one possession win. Um, Jags and Chargers. The stats will let you say that the Chargers held the Jags to limitations, but that wasn't really the game. It was just the opportunities weren't there for that offense. So shout out to the Jags for pulling that out. That's a big win for them. But yeah, what's the other ones you want to hit on, or we just running them down? It.
All right, now I'm going with your favorite team, Mr. KD. The Dolphins with a back-to-back win. That's
Undefeated
your
since they
favorite
let
team.
Greer go.
You said what, sir?
They undefeated since they let Greer go.
Yeah, that might have been the move. Uh, Rams with a close win over the Seahawks. The Jets lose again, and I don't know if you know they made a quarterback change also.
I'm gonna be quick. We gotta get to these other topics. You know for sure I'm not about to spend too much time on the Miami Dolphins, but nah. But in all reality, shout out to them. They are the better team than us right now. So as much slack as I gave them in the beginning of the season when they was going through their things, their win streak has put them in a better position than us. And I'm the first man to stand up and hold up my end of the bargain. The Dolphins are a better team than us. Maybe Chris Greer was the problem, looking back. But undefeated since letting Chris Greer go. Got another win. Shout out to the Dolphins. Now, of course, they're not turning their season around. Too late for that. But maybe Mike McDaniel, maybe he's gonna walk out the graveyard. Maybe he can extend this ride. Rams. I started the train last week, touching on it. Rams might be the most dangerous team in the NFC to me right now, as far as the firepower they have on offense and the consistency they bring on the defensive side of the ball. Um, I'm not burying Seattle. Sam Darnold had a bad performance with his 4 interceptions, but I'm not burying him. He just had a bad game. I'm just gonna count it as a bad game and just pay attention to your next game to see how you bounce back. As far as the Patriots and Jets game, I'm gonna focus on the team that matters. The Patriots are still looking like a top dog in the AFC. They're able to continue this win streak, continue to stack these wins, and get these opportunities to clinch that seed and let everything go through Foxborough. And you know, continue. Shout out to Mike Vrabel, Drake May getting that train going so quickly. But they looking like a serious threat. What you got, Amari, to wrap this one up?
Like you said, well, I'm gonna start where you finished off. Um, not gonna really talk too much about the Jets QB change. I mean, it was liable to happen eventually. It's already happened once before so far this season. Uh, shout again, like you also mentioned, shout out to Mike Vrabel and Drake May for getting that train up and going. Hate to see it happening once again. Last time I seen this happen, I had to face it for 20 years, so I hope that doesn't happen. Uh, but uh, shout out to Miami, back to back wins. Like you said, once got getting rid of Chris Greer, actually, sadly, with shipping some talent out, I feel like even more so started to help their defense. But with their leading rusher and receiver being their starting running back, and Devon A Chain, it just shows you where the focal point of that offense truly is. Uh, I would I would think even more so down the stretch, you gotta try to get all the other weapons involved. But I guess you gonna lean on the workhorse to carry you through most of these matchups that you have coming along. And who was the last one?
You said, Rams. You
Oh,
did the Rams.
oh no, the Rams. That's a complete team. I just as long as Matt Stafford doesn't turn the ball over, like you said, with the tenacity and just the infusion of young talent and drive that they have to be great is it's a lot. And then I think, well, even I feel like the Aaron Donald mindset has passed off. Even though he's retired, he still stays within their facilities, and I feel like he does aid a lot more to these games. I mean, of course, being that this was a rivalry game, I mean it was even more amped up than most are anticipated. But I mean, the Seahawks are no slouch. Like you said, they have this is their first truly bad. Well, this is Sam Darnold's first bad game in quite some time. This is his first four interception game since the four interception
He
game against
threw
the Patriots years ago. When
he threw 4 interceptions and they only lost by 2 points.
yeah, so um, one of their starting linebackers, Ernest Jones, came out in the defense of Sam, saying that Sam's pretty much kept him in every game. So if it's Sam or nobody. So uh, I feel like just as with myself and alongside with the entire Seattle locker room, I see no reason to not
Yeah,
standing with
they good.
Sam. I
They
said they're
good.
perfectly fine with standing with Sam. Sam has done them no wrong, even with this bad game on his game log. He's done no wrong so far this season. I still believe in Sam, and still feel like they have a chance in the NFC. But the Rams are definitely emerging as one of the scariest teams in the NFC.
Yeah, yeah. I ain't even gonna say no. You're right. Yep. We leave it there.
All right. With the last part, we're gonna get here. More AFC North beef. Baltimore beat the Browns. Denver slide by again. And I need somebody to tell me, how is this happening? Uh, with that being said, we also want to get to the Monday night game. I appreciate all the I ain't gonna say festivities, but everything that happened before the game and everything, and even with the benching of the wide receivers. So I'm gonna go with you, Mr. Amari.
Baltimore beating Cleveland was not a surprise, but
Shout out Shador.
yeah, shout out the fact that Shador Sanders actually did get some playing time. And I mean, even though he did have an interception and he took a few sacks, I still personally don't think he played very bad. He
He
played
played
very
horrible,
well.
Bar.
He, I mean, he played horrible as far as being an AFC North guy, but I mean, nah, he played very well. I
He gonna
mean,
look
the
better this week.
offensive line didn't give him any time to really think about anything, but he still decided to try to push the ball downfield. He still tried to win this game for Cleveland. Although, like I said, I feel like the O line kind of checked out when he came in the game, and with no reps with the
There
ones,
you go.
and no true chemistry with anybody, it's kind of hard to actually. And the game plan wasn't even meant for him, so it's not something that you can really put on yourself. Even though he did ultimately try to. Um, Denver wins by defense. Denver is winning by defense, and I feel like the last time we seen Denver do anything even similar to this, they were in the Super Bowl with Peyton. So, because as of right now, Denver ranks third in opponent points per game, third in total yards allowed, fourth in against the run, and it's not like they're playing. They've had an easy schedule at all this year. So Denver has been winning a lot of their games by defense, and this game against Kansas City was no different. I mean, a lot of these defensive players have been on Kansas City's, I mean, not on Kansas City's team, but on Denver's team. A lot of them have been drafted there. I mean, of course, with the influx of 49ers players that did come over with Greenlaw, Hufanga, I mean, they've played Patrick Mahomes plenty of times. So it's like knowing you have to know your opponent. So them knowing him, that kind of led them to be ready for that game. But Bo Nix played a lot better in this game, being able to just manage move the ball and actually end up putting points up on the board. Uh, that was good for them. And Monday night, like you said, I do want to pay respects to the memoriam that they did hold for Marshawn Newland, and it was even more so expressed to with I would say with Schottenheimer wanting to s- not necessarily bench, but sideline your two starting receivers in CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. But I think this ultimately lit a fire under them, watching that the offense went out there without them for the first drive, and then it instantly was a three and out. So it just shows how much we do need them. It's like we need everybody to be held accountable, especially offense and defense. So I do think that was, I mean, ultimately, I don't know if that was his mindset in making that decision, but I do think it did pay true. Did he?
Cleveland, Baltimore. Like you said, it wasn't a surprise for nobody in Baltimore win. Cleveland, Shador didn't look good, but he'll have more opportunities to get his reps with the ones. Wyatt Teller came out and said that was his first time hearing Shador's cadence. So the unfamiliarity with each other it showed, and that was why he couldn't really get nothing going and get nothing done. But I think he'll look a lot better coming up against the Raiders. Um, who else we talked about? Chiefs and Broncos. Tight game down to the end, down to the wire. The Broncos are still winning games despite the offense right now. And that's what's scary to me because I still believe that offense is going to click at some point, and that's what's going to make them the most dangerous team that they can be. And who you ended up with the Monday night game, it
Yep.
was just a good performance offensively by the Cowboys. They was facing a depleted team that really didn't get anything going or couldn't get anything going. So uh, good win by the Cowboys. Dak had a good performance.
Like Gino said, blame it on him.
No, you can blame the season on him if you really want to get deep into it.
Oh, he said that. He said if you done lost the bet, blame it on me. If your toilet just running, blame it on me. Yeah, he blame it on him.
Oh, it was a little sarcasm in there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't see that clip.
All right. So we're gonna get to the injury report. I'm gonna start with you, Mr. KD. It looked
Yeah.
like Rogers hurt his hand.
Like always, I defer to Adam Schefter for this podcast. Amari, what you got? Follow up after you.
Um, Aaron Rodgers, his wrist is, even though it's his non-throwing hand, there's no surgery required. So as of right now, Aaron Rodgers is expected to be a game time decision. As far as Dylan Gabriel being concussed, the Browns still said that Dylan Gabriel is their QB1, although Shador is in line to start against the Raiders. But this comes with more game reps. I do think Shador will he'll be better. Um, Josh Jacobs day to day, he hurt his knee in the last Sunday's game. Lane Johnson hurt his foot. It was Sunday. He's out for 4 to 6 weeks. Michael Penix is one of the injuries that I was talking about for Atlanta. He's out for the year with a torn ACL. Drake London out with a PCL strain. Calvin Ridley out for the year with a broken leg. Uh, Sam Laporta placed on IR with a back injury. J.K. Dobbins out for the season. And Shamar Stewart placed on IR with a knee injury. That is all I have for the injury report.
Yeah, like he said.
All right. It's not Black Friday yet. And I'm gonna start with you, Mr. Amari. So which team that have a losing record or just like barely at 500, you think still have a chance to get to the playoffs? And also, which team that you think she's going to fire sale? Is on you, Mr. Amari.
Losing teams that I actually think have a true chance to make the playoffs, they do need some. My first team comes with health concerns. They need to get healthy first. But the Dallas Mavericks, I feel like if they get
Are we
healthy,
going
they
NBA?
can. Yeah, and like if they get healthy, they can make a push for the playoffs. I feel like Utah has a real good chance if they can get if they can really just figure something out.
Utah.
Yeah, Utah. Utah. Hmm. The 500 teams I got making the. I mean, of course, they're making the playoffs, but necessarily just needing to make a move, just to make a move to maybe shake something up on the roster, or just to elevate them a little bit more. I have Phoenix, Golden State, Boston, and Orlando, and Boston and Memphis are also two of the teams I feel like need to have a fire sale.
Well, we agree on something. There we go. We agree on something.
So Katie, what you got? Because
Well,
I
first off,
mean, this should have been your thing.
no, I thought we was going NFL first, and then we was segueing to the basketball season. But I got NBA teams as far as fire sale. I'm with you on Memphis. Memphis, it's time to make a move, or at least test the market, see what you can get for John Morant. This season might be done already. It don't look optimistic right now where you stand. He's had some little nip and tuck injuries that might be alarming. So test the market, see what you can get to separate yourself from the moment right now. So Grizzlies for NBA was one of my teams. I say fire sale or possibly fire sale. Kings at 3-11. I think they need to see what they can get for Zach LaVine, see what they can get for DeMar DeRozan. Maybe even you go as far as Sabonis, but just see what you can get to get some of these pieces off. And then the Hornets, I think it's time for them to test the market for LaMelo as well. See what you can possibly reap from uh, moving him, as far as he's the only real probably option that you can get a real haul from, if you can get a haul from him at this point. So those are my 3 5 set NBA teams. But to the NFL topic that I thought we was on, um, I think the Ravens at 5-5 are a team that are still dangerous that can make the playoffs. Only one game behind Pitt in the North. Got their quarterback back. Been on a win streak since he came back. It's tough to say, but yeah, I know it's tough to say, but I think the Ravens are still they still have a glass half full look on the rest of the season. And then even though I did stand firm and I still stand firm with Denver winning that division, I'm not going to throw the Chiefs away. I expected a step back for them this season, but the door is not closed for them to make it into the playoffs at 5-5 right now. So those are the two 500 teams that I think can still make something of this season. As far as fire sale, it's too late for fire sales in the NFL season. You can't trade nobody no more. You ain't just gonna cut nobody for no reason. You can't really fire sale at this point. You just gotta wait till the off season to really make some moves.
I mean, no, when you touch on the NFL teams, the 500 NFL teams. I mean, of course, like you said, you can't count out the Chiefs. You can't count out the Ravens. Although I would love for the Ravens to just fall off the map, but the Texans have been a team that I feel like could really do something. I don't know, just with the defense that they have to back them, if they get healthy on the offensive side, the playoff push that they can still make. I mean, the AFC South can potentially put three teams in the playoffs.
What?
It could. They could potentially put three teams in the
CJ
playoffs.
still injured right now.
Davis Mills has not been playing bad.
If you want,
The defense has been backing them to win them games.
if Davis Mills is gonna take your team to the playoffs,
If Davis Mills can keep us afloat until CJ gets back, should be more of the statement.
so who are the 3 teams that you see coming out the
I
South?
mean, the Colts, obviously.
Just for you to say them out loud, for we can put you on camera for this right here.
Okay,
Say
so
again.
let me get right in the middle, so we can
Yeah, the
say that
Colts, of
the
course.
the Colts, obviously,
Right,
the Jaguars, who are not bad,
right.
and the Texans.
Okay. 3 teams coming out the South.
Hmm.
So how many would come out the West? With that
You still got
math,
the Chargers.
yeah. With that math that you're using, that means only one team can come out the West. Maybe two, or you be reaching. Maybe two, but you'd really be putting everything against the wall at that point.
Oh, because I'm gonna say yeah, because it's like
You got the Chargers, Broncos, and Chiefs in the West.
the Broncos and the Chiefs. I mean.
In the North, you got
Like
Pittsburgh,
you
your
said,
team,
can't.
and Baltimore.
We're making the playoffs. Like I said, I hope
Then in the East, you got New
Baltimore can
England.
fall off the map. I never asked for Baltimore to make it.
Then in the East, you got New England and Buffalo. So how is the South bringing 3 teams?
I said potentially. I didn't say they could. I said potentially. They could potentially bring 3 teams.
I don't see it.
Somebody has to lose out.
It's looking like the Texans. They better get
I
CJ
mean,
healthy.
like I said, it's like, can Davis Mills keep you afloat until CJ gets healthy? If Davis Mills, if he can't buy you that much time, then because I mean, at some point you have to play one of these teams for the division.
Well, no, I think that division is that
I mean,
division.
it's already locked up with the Colts, but
That's
I
not.
mean, you'll have to play the Jags, and I'm pretty sure they have to play the Colts again if they haven't played them already. So you have to fight for that to stay alive, and even then,
I
it's
got
kind of a losing battle anyway.
I got New England, Denver, Baltimore, Indianapolis. Then
Such a
my
hater.
three. Nah, listen, I'm about to put you in there. My 3 would be Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Chiefs. That's 7, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's 7.
I gotta see who on the Chiefs' remaining schedule
Oh,
to
I
see if
got
they
it. You
going.
ready? You ready?
Yes.
Colts,
Oh
Cowboys,
yeah, that's the next game.
Colts, Cowboys, Texans, Chargers, Titans, Broncos, Raiders.
So they can beat the Raiders.
They
The
could beat the
Texans
Titans.
game. Yeah, I say they can beat
They
the
could beat the
Titans.
Titans.
They can
I
beat the
think they could
Texans.
beat the Cowboys, Texans, Titans, and Raiders. I think those should be 4 wins.
Yeah.
The other 3 would be Colts, Chargers, Broncos. The Broncos is one of their last 2 games. So as far as how the Broncos season go, we might not really have.
I'm about to say
Really,
it kind of depends on that. It
yeah.
might depend on that.
But I think this next game is the most important to me. When you really
Yeah,
want to
it's the
see how
Colts.
they look. Yeah, you got to get
Because
this
I mean, you talking about, well, I mean, it's not the Patriots, but this is second top dog in the AFC.
right. You got to get this one because it means too much to your season. You can't go
Mm-hmm.
5-6. 5-6
I
is
say,
going to
yeah,
be
you go 5-6, it makes it even tougher to get into the playoffs now.
yeah. That's going to be.
Uh,
I got the Ravens scheduled too. They got the Jets, the sorry ass Bengals twice. They got the Steelers twice, and the Patriots and the Packers. Baltimore in good hands, man. I'm trying to tell you. I know you don't want to hear that. Baltimore's in all right now.
I hate to see Baltimore in the playoffs, but then again, Lamar chokes, so who knows?
Yeah, right.
Like,
Right. But don't take up a spot. He just taking up.
yeah, it's
I
like
don't
you
know, man.
taking up a spot.
That,
I don't want to see
Ravens
you a
defense
third
doesn't
time.
look. It don't look up to standard of usually the Ravens defense. So
And I feel like that's more evidence to show that like their pass rush is different this year than it has been in the past. It's not as aggressive as it was. Like they're using a lot more zone blitzes than anything else. But that too bad.
So let me ask you this
surprised they
question.
go 10-7. Don't be surprised the Ravens pull out a 10-7.
Let me ask you this question, Miss Katie. How confident from a 1 to 10 scale, and then Mr. Amari second, do y'all think that the Cowboys can get into the playoffs from 1 to 10? Well, 0 to 10, however you want to look at it.
It's still on the board, but I'm not confident. I would say sub 5. I'm not confident in it. Because the NFC, man, they rounded out.
I don't know.
Like a 4.
I'm gonna say yeah, because I'm like I don't know. Yeah, more like a 4.
You looking
They
at the
gotta.
Packers. Let me
I'm gonna
see
say
the
the
division one.
Packers, the Lions, the
Packers,
Rams, the
Lions, Rams,
Seahawks.
Seahawks, Eagles,
Yeah, Philly,
Tampa.
and then possibly the Panthers.
You keep doing this.
They're 6-5, bro. They beat Dallas.
I can't say nothing. They got a better record than Dallas right now.
They
No.
beat
Oh,
Dallas.
if we compare it to Dallas, yeah, they got a better chance than Dallas. But we're talking about
No.
realistically
I'm
making.
saying, how
We
do
didn't say San Francisco.
you get to the playoffs? If other teams got better records than you and
No.
they beat you, can they get there?
No, it doesn't matter because what Amari is stating for the Panthers to make it, they got to win the division, correct?
But my point is, I don't know that to be certain, but I know if they got a better record than
The
Dallas,
West got three
maybe.
teams.
You said what, sir?
The West got three teams.
All right, so the West got 3 teams. So you saying that
For
in
Carolina
order?
to make it, they have to win the division.
Oh, okay. I get your point. So if they win a division with 9 wins and you got 10 wins and you didn't win your division, you still don't get to the playoffs.
Right. For them to win, they have to win the division. Because you got, what we say? Okay, 3 teams in the West. I got all 3 of them making it right now. I got Seattle, San Fran, and LA making it. Philly makes it as the winner of their division.
You got San Fran's remaining schedule?
No, I don't have it. But I feel like they have enough head start that they're going to knock out these lower teams. And then now that they're starting to get healthy. They've been winning without being healthy. They're starting to get healthy.
They're starting to get healthy on the offensive side. The defensive side is the side that they're not healthy on, and they're not getting healthy on. Every player that they need on defense is out for the season.
Truth be told, they ain't got too many players on defense no more. That's a whole nother argument for a whole nother day.
I mean,
But
that's true too.
they need Brock Purdy.
Your main 2 are out for the season. And to be honest, you saying they need Brock Purdy. They was doing more efficient with Mac Jones.
I'm opening this box of worms here. You have more confidence in the Panthers than the 49ers right now. Is that what you're trying to insinuate?
I don't know the 49ers remaining schedule to say that I do or don't.
So it depends on the schedule, huh?
Yeah, actually, IT just pulled it up for me. Oh, well, speaking of, we'll find out on Monday night. Because that's exactly who the Panthers are playing. They're playing the 49ers. So we'll find out on Monday night. So I'll ask you again. Next week, we can have this conversation again. But as of right now, I don't know.
I don't want to talk about the Panthers 2 weeks in a row. I don't want
to. I mean, okay. But the 49ers schedule, this 49ers upcoming schedule, we have the Panthers, you got the Browns, the Titans, the Colts, the Bears, and then the Seahawks.
That's enough, Mark. That's enough. You just said the Bears. I mean, no, my fault.
The Browns and the Titans.
Browns, Titans. Who you said is up next? Panthers.
That's 2.
That's 3. Panthers, Titans, Browns is 3 right there.
Panthers, Titans, Browns is 3.
That's 10 wins. Is that 10? That's 7,
Colts,
right?
Bears, Seahawks. Those are 3 potential losses.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, possibly.
It sounds like you still going in there the same that you thought you was walking into.
And I got one up game. I got 1 game up on you right now, so that matters.
Well, on the Panthers?
On the Panthers.
Oh yeah.
I got 1 game up, so that matters.
Oh, I mean, this still comes back to the fact that the Cowboys not making it.
Oh, well, yeah, we passed that, yeah.
I'm about to say, the whole point of all of this was to find out about the Cowboys, and they still not making it.
But that wasn't no real topic, so that's how we segue to the realistic things that's going on. I don't give a dang about the Cowboys making it, man. If the Cowboys make it, it's going to be a miraculous turnaround. I'm not saying they're dead. It's still
they're not dead. It's just like
they kind of like the Bengals. You ain't got no room for error.
Yeah. You can't fall 1 game because even then it's like your division already kind of running away from you. Like you not winning the East.
Oh yeah, they're not winning the division.
That ran away from you.
That's why we started comparing them to teams, other wild card aggressive teams. But like you said, you got Green Bay, Detroit. That's 1 division, and you can't sleep on Chicago either.
Yeah,
they
7-3.
Yeah, I can't see the South pulling out 3. Mari, I can't see it.
It's somebody else got to take a fall. I'm saying because as right now, I mean, you like your standings is pretty right for as far as the NFC goes. Because like with Philly, you got Philly, the Rams, the Bears, and it's like the Bears is 3 seed right now. The Bucks, the Seahawks, the Packers, and then the Niners.
That's what I'm saying. The only way you would be right, they have to win the division. That's the only way I can see the Panthers getting in. They got to win that division. Tampa has to fall off, and Carolina has to excel, and they got to win the division. As far as wild card, that door dang near closed.
I say yeah, because the Bears got a 59% chance to
That's what I'm
make the
saying. Look at the
playoffs.
North. Look at the North. You got Detroit, Green Bay, Chicago right
It's,
there. And you
But,
can't
but
cut off
Mr. KD,
Minnesota.
but Mr. KD, my question was, how certain do you feel about
I
the
don't give a
Cowboys
dang about
getting?
the Cowboys, man. I already said a 4. Stop bringing them up. I
You
don't
said,
care about
so, okay, okay.
Yeah, I said the door's not closed, but the realistic
No,
aspect of
no,
it
no,
is
no. Four door closed.
basically, yeah. But you got to keep them motivated, so you can't say the door closed right now. We talking about real topics that we can touch back on next week because that's real. That's a dang man. And then you know what? We're gonna tie into this later with one of our other topics too. But that's crazy how many variables is in the NFC right now.
Yeah, you right about that. So I'm gonna start with you, Mr. KD. We're gonna get to the next topic. We're gonna swing a little bit. We're gonna get to the NBA because we kind of talked about the NBA in the last topic. So, what do you think about the global games? And do you think that it can save the All Star game? What's your thoughts? It's on you, Mr. KD.
And Mark, we're going 3 hours tonight. I'm looking at this time and these questions. We're going 3 hours tonight. Woo-wee. Uh, as far as yeah, just get you some coffee. As far as now I didn't know what you meant. Explain global games. What you mean by global games? Are you talking about yeah? Explain global games.
The global games, that's the name that they call for the NBA All Star game. They call it the global games.
Learn something
That's the
new.
name. That when what they're doing is they call it the global games. That's the name for it.
I didn't know that's what they called it. I knew what the format they was doing, but I didn't know they called it the
Yeah,
global.
so you knew what I'm speaking of. So, but that's what they called it, the
Well,
global.
no, I
So
don't
they're
care
gonna
what they
have like
call it.
two
Hey,
international teams and one U.S. team, or some to that effect. I don't know if you
well,
know
Frank,
exactly what I'm speaking of.
yeah, I know what you're talking about now. I just didn't know what the terminology they was using. But look,
makes
to
sense since we're
quote,
getting rained by foreign players.
I've been watching American Gangster on repeat lately. Denzel Frank Lucas say, "You could tie it up and call it Blue Dog. I don't care what you call it. Just don't." That's how I feel about the All Star game, man. I
Just
don't care what you do. It's
yeah.
done. It's
Copyright
done.
infringement.
Yeah, you could tie it up, put a chokehold on it, and call it Blue Dog. But no, you can't save the All Star game. All Star game's done. I think you'll bring more eyes to it with this format because it's something brand new that actually is interesting. But I'm it's a part of it I didn't read enough about, or I'm still curious about. Like, what if are they still electing all stars? Is
Nah,
it
it's still
still
gonna be an all-star game, but
what if you don't get an equal amount of foreign and American players
so
elected?
with that being said, when we name the top 15 players in the NBA, they're gonna be international anyway, so we ain't got to worry about that.
No, what I'm saying is we ain't gonna get enough American players. That's what I'm
Exactly.
trying to say.
That's the problem.
That's what I'm trying to say. We might not get enough American, but I don't know. I'm interested to see how this is going to balance out. How does it sway? Because you got to be careful with this new form. When you make changes to formats like this, you got to be careful because being an all star is still an accomplishment and an accolade. So you can't sway history as far as now we putting more international players in there than maybe might be deserving because we have to make this format work. So you're on dangerous ground, but I'd like to see how they play it out and how it works out. But no, All Star Game is dead. I don't see no saving it. Um, we're gonna have the same facade that we've had the past few years, where it's gonna look competitive for a little bit and it's gonna look horrible for a little bit, and maybe in the last 5 minutes we'll see the competitiveness rise. But I no, the 3 point contest is probably the most intriguing part of the All Star Weekend still.
3 point contest, the celebrity game, and the dunk contest to those who actually still care. But NBA viewership in general has been just on a steady decline. So it's not just All Star Weekend. It's not the global games problem. It's just the NBA problem.
I
But
ain't gonna lie.
that's new to numerous reasons though. talking about with streaming and just everything that just moving away from cable viewership. It's not one problem that can just be a fix.
Calling the All-Star game the global games is a loss in itself. That's a miniature loss that you got to pay attention to. That you calling the All-Star game the global games. That's accept that's easy.
Mr. KD, I don't know if they calling the All Star game the global game, so don't quote me on that. But
Oh,
I think that's the banner that they under. But to Mr. Amari point, he's saying that it's multifaceted, and he's absolutely right. Man, you know this. We coach youth basketball. We see it. It's
yeah,
not an
yeah.
NBA problem. This is a fundamental problem. I just want you to speak about it for 5, 10 seconds, whatever you think about it. Like, what do you really think about that? The fact that we even got to go to this extreme to even get these people to be acclimated to even play in this game.
That's the real topic of conversation. The fact that the solution could have been so simple. For years, the problem has been the competitiveness of the All Star game. From outside looking in, that should be a simple fix. We should just talk to the guys. Hey guys, we need these games to be more competitive. Can you take it a little more serious? And then the problem should be fixed. But the fact that we have to, or the league, not we, the league has to get to this level of creativity, so to say, to even spark the interest of the viewers and to get the viewership of the All Star Weekend back up, that's the bigger problem at hand. I'm not saying who's wrong or who's right, but I'm just saying that's more of a topic of conversation than what we're talking about right now. What we're talking about right now is just a byproduct to the mishaps that led up to this point. But to what you said too, it's not the game is getting contaminated at a lower level. The NBA is just the platform that is being broadcasted and put on the forefront, but the game has been tarnished at a way earlier and lower level.
And Mr. KD, you know we can stay here for an hour, and I ain't gonna stay here, but we gonna kind of stay here because I think your boy had a 50-piece triple double or something to that effect. I'm gonna let you tell me where I'm wrong at. I really got to the point where I think we don't appreciate Jokic. Like, really appreciate what he's doing. Any other era, he'll be considered the GOAT. The things he's doing, I ain't gonna say no more. It's on you, Mr. KD. It's on you, Mr. KD.
I don't think he's underappreciated to the topic that you brought up. I don't think he's underappreciated by his peers. Um, and I don't even want to stand up and say
Mr. KD. I ain't talking about the pill. I'm talking about the overall.
no, I'm about to say it too. I don't even stand
I'm
to
sorry.
say
I'm
he's
sorry. I'm sorry.
underappreciated by the media or the surroundings. I just feel like we are caught in a situation of it's like the Bigfoot theory. If you see something so often and so consistently, the wow of it is diminished.
It's called
So,
voters fatigue.
well, no, if you want to talk about MVPs, then that's a whole other argument. We could talk about that for 2 days straight. I got you. But as far as just understanding and to IT saying appreciating the consistency and the dominance that is being showed consistently for Jokic, hands down, I feel he's the best player in the league. I don't even think that's with bias in. I just feel like he's the best player in the league. Some people will put Shea in there, Giannis. I get that, but I feel like when you get to the argument of the best player in the league, whoever is in that top three is good. Because then you get to opinions and biases and everything. But if you're in that top three, then you're valid. But as far as with Jokic, he's uh, putting out this statistical output and this output, one, so consistently, and two, so effortlessly that it is being undermined and overlooked. But I still think that the purists of it are appreciating what he brings to the game and who he is and what he's able to do. But it's just the wow factor. The wow factor is gone because he's doing it so consistently that you can't keep shocking me. like I'm not gonna keep getting shocked and surprised or whatever it may be. He's averaging a triple double again. They're like, oh wow, he did that last year. Show me something new. So I think he's still appreciated to the level he needs to be, but and also the fact that works against him is he's not that athletic. I think the athletic prowess puts the exclamation point on what you're doing.
You
If he
feel
was
like if he
banging
had
on
some,
people,
I would say you feel like if he had some wild
yeah.
plays, it
If
would
he
make
was
more.
banging on people every night and getting these Wimbyama blocks and putting dudes under the rim, maybe,
I
Sports Center
mean,
would like it a little more.
I
But
just think with 29, 13 and a half, and 11 shooting for 65% from the field, I feel like this.
when you make it look easy, sometimes that works against you. And if you make it look too easy, it works against you because they feel like you ain't really trying, so you're not really doing anything. But like you said, the numbers are the numbers. Women lie, men lie, numbers don't lie. The fact that he's able to do this consistently, that's a accolade in itself. But don't worry, because really, when you playing sports at a high level to the level he's playing at, you really never get your credit till it's over anyway. So
And that's what I was about to say. This is like an MVP blackball, Miss KD. Like on some real spill, I was gonna have who was the best player in the West and the East. Normally I would do our player of the week. But once I seen him this week, I said, why? And that's when the realization hit me. I don't even appreciate him as much as I should appreciate.
well, this is
There's
your time.
there's no other player of the week. It's him, and then there's others.
Yeah. Now it's appalling to hear from you because I feel like you should appreciate him as much as necessary. But if you underappreciate him, I don't know if you're saying it as you're underappreciating him as like a fault of yours, or you're saying you're underappreciating him as far as what he's doing is still to the point of unfathomable as far as
Nah, I'm saying that I'm underappreciating him, meaning to your point when y'all was talking about dunking on people about I probably would look at him differently. Like when I really looked at this week, I said I can't pick nobody else as a player of the week. It's only him. But the fact that I even thought there was
player in the league to you, I think.
But Mr. KD, this is the point. The fact I thought there was a contender, that's how I know I unappreciated him. Like if this my era. If MJ was doing what he did, there's no way anybody would be speaking about anybody but MJ because it looked different. And I think it maybe because it looked different, maybe because it's a foreigner. I don't know.
That's what I was about to say. That's another part of it.
Go ahead.
No, I ain't gonna stay on it. I'm just saying that's another part of it too. He's a foreigner, so he got to work twice as hard just to get the recognition that. No, not bad to Anthony Edwards, but Anthony Edwards would get praise and everything a lot easier than Jokic would. And it's also, man, there's so many variables. It's the marketability.
I was just gonna say that. I was like the marketability being that he's
Yeah.
homegrown. It's like you can be commercialized over here versus whereas Jokic would be commercialized in his country,
Right.
and that would be where he's the most marketable.
There's a lot of things that might work against him if you really want to talk about it. But if you strip all the extra curricular stuff away and we talk about just basketball, and then we could get on the court of talking about just basketball.
And Mr. KD, that was my point. When we really talking about just basketball,
yeah, we eliminate debates.
What I'm saying is, I'm looking at it like he might be my 10th pick, might be my 12th pick, but the thing about it, he might be the best pick. So what I'm saying is, even as a basketball purist, I still seen the flaws in myself that I don't appreciate him at the level that he should be appreciated. That's why I asked this question, that even the people that say, I'm a basketball purist, how you feel about a man that can jump 1 inch off the ground and still get you 40? I don't really like that. That means you're not a basketball purist. That means our biases is looking at him and denouncing him from the position that he's supposed to be in. And I'm saying that to you because you're a Nuggets fan. what do you think about that? How do you feel about that? Because you don't have that bias
Right.
because you love him. But me, as an outside looking in, I'm like, I do be knocking them, and it ain't even about European. It's more about because stay tuned, audience. We're gonna have a conversation about him, Luka, Shagun, and other people. If they're that good, how bad was the people in the 1960s, 70s, or 80s?
I'm gonna tell you
So
what's crazy when you get into the argument, right? Because like I said, the other names that you'll get into about top player, it might be Shea or Giannis, right? But the crazy thing is when we look at the color of their skin, that plays into the variable as well. Because Shea is a foreigner, but he'll be adopted a lot easier as an American player just off the color of his skin. They'll more easily adopt him as far as going behind him and going to bat for him as one of ours. But Jokic, I really feel like I don't see how people put Shea over Jokic. I firmly believe that, and that's not a shout or yeah. We gotta for the most part we can nip it here and we say that open Pandora's box for another night because that's a direct topic and direct discussion about comparing the foreign players within each other and not mistaking certain foreign players for more of American based debate. So that's another topic for another day. But Jokic
all
is the
right.
best player in the
So
world.
with that being said, to the next topic, we're gonna leave off that. And any other NBA news is on you, Mr. KD. What you got for the NBA news for the week? Is on you, sir.
Well, first off, the biggest news is LeBron James is back. The Crown is back. The Crown is returning against the Jazz. He's been amping up. They sent him to the G League for a couple practices to see how his body reacts. And the time is here. The time is now. LeBron is back. They've been more than staying afloat, being 10-4 through 14 games that he's missed. Really, the eyes are just on how he can get acclimated and slide back in without messing up their continuity and the chemistry. But like I said last week, I don't see it as being a problem. So the biggest headline is LeBron is back. That's enough said. I could stop it there, to be honest. I could stop it there. But I know my partner, his favorite player, I don't know why, but PG-13 made his return recently. He had
Hey
it's
man,
his performance.
chill off me. But
Yeah,
yes,
your bad
if
decisions are
anybody,
your bad decisions. I'm not gonna judge you about those.
he made me a fan of who my team is now.
Hey, but you can get off the train. Melo was my favorite player, but eventually I said, "Huh."
But you stayed with the Nuggets.
That's it. Next year, you can stay with the Pacers. Just let go of that Paul George thing, man. Like, never mind. He played 21 minutes, shot 2 for 9, 2 for 9. His stat line was kind of 9.7 rebounds, 3 assists. That's not bad. But we expect more from him as far as efficiency. But it's good to see him back. I'm in all reality, it's good to see him back. Now he has the opportunity to stack games and see where he can go once he get acclimated to how the Sixers and everything is doing things. Hopefully he don't hurt those young guys' development as far as standing in their way. But what else I got? Pistons, 10-game winning streak under the radar. Nobody's talking about it. Cade Cunningham's balling and everything, but we haven't really equated that to the success of the Pistons. 10-game winning streak, and right now, I don't know if you fellas knew this, they're the top seed in the East. I don't expect them to hold that seat, but at 12-2 being the top seed, they got to give a shout out. They got to warrant some type of respect. Now, they didn't beat the best teams on this little 10-game win streak, but we're not here to pump them up. Shout out Cade Cunningham and the Pistons, JB Bigstaff, what they got going on. Wemby, you touched on. He out for a little bit with the calf strain. I ain't going to stay on that too much because we got to make up time. Coach Willie Green of the Pelicans was fired. How much do we blame him for that? That's a whole nother topic. I think he's a good coach. I hope he gets another opportunity where he can get a fair shot as far as roster construction. But in his 5 seasons, he has a record of 150 and 190. And this season started dreadfully. So how much do we blame him and how much we blame the health and the construction of his roster? Who knows? But his time is done in New Orleans. Hopefully, he can land on his feet and get somewhere else. Quick segue. Is that an appealing job? Like, as a head coach, available coach, would you want that Pelicans job? You got Joe Dumars running things. You got Zion for how long? You got Zion. I don't know. I don't know if that's an appealing job or not, but that was all the points I touched. Oh, James Harden. Shout out James Harden. He averaging 26, 6, and 9 quietly. Clippers suck right now, but he's putting up statistics that hold par. And that means he got a lot more in the tank. IT, where your boy Kawhi at? That's all I want to know. He just need a little bit of help. James just need a little bit of help at this point. But yeah, that's my touchstones. Anything you want to hit on tomorrow, or what you got?
No, I ain't got nothing to hit on besides my team is quite literally the bottom of the East.
Oh,
but yeah, that's about it. That's about it.
Parody. That's the parody of the league. Hit.
Hint. Actually, let's go, IT. Let's go.
No, hold on. Is that an appealing job, man? You didn't answer, or you was on mute. Is that an appealing job?
I was on mute. No, that is not an appealing job. I do not want that job.
I was looking at the because I read something where they said Darvin Ham. They're looking at him seriously for that position.
Actually, it's about football, but I'm gonna ask it at the end. But yeah, actually, let's go. Let's keep it going.
Man, it's Pelicans.
In particular, I'm gonna start with you, Mr. Amari. Has more parity, the NFL or the NBA? Is on you, Mr. Amari.
I genuinely think the NBA has a lot more parity than the NFL. I mean, because the NBA, literally any given team can win on any given day. It might just be one tweak in the roster, and the team that was considered an underdog all week can actually come out with the win. I mean, the NFL, sometimes you can kind of tell going into a Sunday, like, all right, like the Rams are gonna win, the Ravens are gonna win. Whereas in the NBA, you never know. A game-winning shot is like a lot of things like that tend to happen a lot more in the NBA than they do the NFL. So I would say the NBA has a lot more parity.
But Mr. Amari, when I'm speaking of this, I'm really speaking of overall. So, for instance, if I ask you who's the front runner of the NFL right now and who's the front runner of the NBA, I think both questions would be answered as I really don't know, and it may be like 3 to 4 teams. So my point is not who can win any game, but who can win the championship. Is there really a front runner in the championship race?
There's definitely no front runners in the NFL championship race. As far as the NBA, I would leave that to Mr. KD. But as far as the NFL, there are top teams, but there's no front runner to make it to the Super Bowl. There's no front runner to even be the Super Bowl winner because we don't know.
It's a shrewd question because the NFL is on the back half of their season. The NBA hasn't even really gotten started in their season. So, of course, we would have a better picture of the end for the NFL and the real cream of the crop for the NFL at this point right now. So it's a shrewd question. But
Mr. KD, let me ask you this question. You say that to say people are already getting fired in the NBA right now. So it's not like it's so early that we don't know what it is. It's so early that people are firing people right now. Or is it so late in the game?
The Pistons are 12-2. I bet you they won't finish top 5. Well, I ain't gonna say that because they
but that's the question. Who is the front runner in the NBA and who is the front runner in the NFL?
OKC. The champions. That's what I'm saying. It's pretty, even though I still say it's a shrewd question because we're in the early stages and so many things can still happen. But OKC is still the champs are still the front runner right now in the NBA. So I would say, you know, but with the parity topic, I would say it's in the NBA just because they have so much season left that we really haven't got enough research and enough evidence to stand firm on anything. But when we brought the topic up earlier, talking about the NFC and all the teams in the NFC, it's a lot of parity in that conference as well. So
and the AFC. That's my point.
don't
Like,
know.
who is the NFC leader?
That's parity. 'Cause
Who
I
is the
would probably
AFC leader?
I would probably say the Rams in the NFC, but I would see a
And
debate
the
for the
AFC, who
Lions.
would you say?
You said who?
Who would you say on the AFC?
I'd probably say the Patriots right now.
All right. So who would you say in the Western Conference?
OKC.
Who would you say in the Eastern Conference?
Who cares?
No.
That's how dominant. That's how dominant
You
OKC
don't have
is.
nobody out of the East that you can say they are the dominant team.
I'm saying OKC looks so dominant they cover both conferences.
Lord.
OKC look good, man. And they don't even have Jalen Williams right now. OKC look good.
Nah, I agree with you that OKC look good. But my whole question is, them looking good, you think they the star worth of the NBA right now? Like, they head and shoulders above everybody.
Yes.
Oh, I don't believe that. I believe that the NBA and the NFL is looking for the next champion this year, to the point that whoever won the league last year will not win this year, meaning the Eagles will not win again and OKC will not win again. What you think about that?
Sure looks like it. OKC has not shown nothing to make you confident about that assumption.
Nah. That's my belief.
Their possible second best player has not played yet, and they still have shown the level of dominance amongst the league. I don't see how you can confidently make that claim.
Nah, that's my belief in parity. But we go from the comments, and I'm gonna start with you, Mr. Amari. So the comments were saying that Aaron Rodgers sat for 3 years and got hurt when he basically his first game with the Jets. So to look at his stats versus Matt Stafford's stats, it's not a good comparison. So we really gonna nail down and say who's better, Matthew Stafford or Aaron Rodgers? Is on you, Mr. Amari.
So as KD put up a great point last week, Aaron Rodgers and Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford played for a losing team, so if you put Matt Stafford on a winning team, Matt Stafford's numbers would be better than what Aaron Rodgers is now. But even more so, if Aaron Rodgers had gotten the chance to play technically 4 seasons, that the 4 seasons that he did miss, that gives him even more chances or more time to amp those numbers. But even with the numbers being very identical and Aaron Rodgers missing ultimately 4 seasons, Matt Stafford has only missed 23 games in his career, and his numbers are that close. Aaron Rodgers missed 4 seasons. So, I mean, numbers wise, it's like if you give him those 4 years, the numbers is going to bypass. But
yeah, he missed 4 seasons, but he still played more games. So that's why it kind of defeats that argument. He still played 26 more games than Stafford. So
yeah, that was about to get it. Like, yeah, 26, and you say he got 2,000 more yards. That sound all right. 26, 2,000. All right, okay.
How? How does that sound all right?
People get 2,000 yards in 17 games.
But my point is
a season and some change. Like,
I played a couple of
2,000 yards in a season.
I had 18, but you said it's 24. So 18, 24.
26.
And I got over 2,000 yards more than you. Not only that, to Mr. Amari point that he made last week, you was playing catch up. So how many of your yards is empty calories? If you got 30% of empty calorie yards, your yards and my yards don't even equate to each other. So what are we really saying here, Mr. KD?
I so much hate that debate. If I'm playing catch up, my production means less. Is that what we're saying? If we're playing catch up, the fact that I can still put these numbers up, that don't diminish them or lessens the what I did. I still had to do it. I don't like that argument, but I'm not arguing for Stafford over Aaron Rodgers. I don't really think that's a debate. Aaron Rodgers is hands down a better quarterback, has had a better career than Matthew Stafford. All I said last week to spark interest is when you take account the situations. That's all I was saying. Stafford was in, like, you can equate those 2 years that you say Aaron Rodgers missed
3.
to the 7 years or 3 years that Aaron Rodgers missed to the 7, 8 years that Stafford just threw to Detroit. We can equate those out. He was just in a bad situation.
Oh, them years wasn't thrown away. He was throwing the Megatron.
He was throwing, yeah, like IT just said, he was throwing the ball, whereas Aaron Rodgers was throwing the clipboard to the head coach to try to give plays. He was literally on the bench watching Brett Favre sling passes.
I wasn't playing competitive. Well, I wasn't afforded the luxury of being in competitive games and competitive seasons. Aaron Rodgers has been in situations where the game's way more. Like you have an actual opportunity to make something of the season. Stafford didn't really fall into those circumstances. Of course, he had Calvin Johnson, which is probably the best receiver either one of them has ever played with. But what else?
So before we get to the next topic, I need a definitive. Amari, I'm gonna start with Mr. KD, then Mr. Amari. Who's better, Aaron Rodgers or Matt Stafford? I need both of y'all to give me your answer. It's on you, Mr. KD.
Aaron Rodgers is better.
Aaron Rodgers, 4-time MVP.
But to end with a caveat, they both got the same amount of rings.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Because rings is a team thing. With that being said, we're gonna end this with our last topic, our sticky note segment. And we're gonna just deal with the outside of the Thursday night game. We're gonna deal with the teams that got black in their emblem. So we're talking about the Bengals, the Steelers, the Bucks, the Cardinals, Eagles, Falcons, etc. I'm gonna start with you, Mr. KD. Who do you get as your winners that's dressed in black outside of the Thursday night game? It's on you, Mr. KD.
Why you don't want to talk about Thursday night game? You nervous?
No. Thursday night game, you still gonna pick that, but both of the teams is red, white, and blue. It don't match the motif.
I thought you was a little nervous. My bad. Bengals
It's
over
nerves.
Patriots, of course.
What?
Ravens over Giants.
Without
I told you, I'm always
without
gonna
one?
pick the Bengals. I'm always gonna pick the Bengals. I don't
Without
care what.
one?
Yeah, I don't care what traumatizing moments I have. Bengals over
Jay
Patriots.
Yoshivas, big game.
No, I'm looking at Noah Fant. I had to pick the lowest name.
Noah
Noah
Fant
Fant,
anytime touchdown. There you go.
200 yards receiving. Bengals over Patriots. Ravens over Giants. Bears over Steelers. Really because of that A-Rod injury. I don't see him playing, but they said it could happen. I don't know. But I think Bears over Steelers if A-Rod don't play. The Raiders over the Browns in Shador's first start. Jags over Cardinals, easy win for that I think should be. Falcons over Saints, I'm not confident in that. I'm just saying it. And the 49ers over the Panthers.
Yeah. And it's crazy that I was making the argument for the Panthers, but I got the 49ers over the Panthers.
I know
Got
you
the
do.
Eagles. I got the Eagles over the Cowboys. Whatever. I got the Eagles over the Cowboys. I actually got the Browns beating the Raiders. Um, got the Patriots beating the Bengals, of course. The Steelers beating the Bears. The Rams beating the Bucks. And I don't have too much faith in this one, but I have the Falcons beating the Saints. I think we both matched up on that one.
So you got y'all beating the Steelers whether A-Rod play or not.
Yeah,
I
I
mean, no, you
mean,
got y'all beating the
no.
Bears.
Oh yeah, Why would I not pick a team? Why would I not pick my team?
Oh, you're right.
Shit, Mason Rudolph just beat y'all. I didn't expect that.
That ain't saying a lot.
I
we
mean,
lost to the Jets, man. It ain't saying a lot.
who did the Bears play for real?
No, the Bears got like 2-3 good wins.
They played the Commanders.
No.
They played the Vikings.
Who they beat? As who they beat? They
My
got
point
7
exactly.
wins. I think they got 2 good wins.
2.
Yeah, we ain't got no good wins. Who, Jacksonville?
Pretty good win.
That's it.
Yeah, I said that's a pretty good win. Yeah, I think that's all I got.
I got the Bills over the Texans.
Yeah, I got the Bills over the Texans.
And y'all lucky CJ ain't playing because that defense, CJ torched that defense. But let Amari tell it, Davis Mills might,
Hey, if Davis Mills can keep them afloat, but hey, if Josh Allen puts up another 6 touchdowns, what are you gonna do about that?
He ain't doing that again. They better hope he don't put up another 3 turnovers.
You saying that they ain't having that? I mean, that's true.
That Texas defense ain't nothing to play with. It's just their offense. I don't think their offense gonna be able to put up points. Even though that ain't hard to do on that Bills defense. It's tough, man. Bengals over Patriots. You heard what I said. I stand by it. I guarantee it.
Hey, you know what? I would actually be glad that if y'all was to do that because we beat them
And we beat y'all.
and we beat y'all. Here's the
Touche.
background.
Touche.
What you say about the Bengals over the Patriots, Mr. KD?
I stand by it. I guarantee it. They know that.
Whether they know me,
And they know the chairman of General Mills.
Matt Keller. With that being said,
Say, man, I don't like these words, man. Insist. I don't like these words, Frank. Insist.
copyright infringement. With that being said, we had a little too much fun.
Thank you.
We had a little too much fun with these words. You know what I mean? I
don't appreciate these words, Frank.
With that being said, I need y'all to remember one thing. We ain't come to play. We out.